Hello, it's Go9 here to bring you episode 1 of my Pokemon Violet Dragonlocke. So, like and subscribe, and with that, let's get on with the video. Oh, and I don't know what's up with the coloring. I've tried messing around with the settings, but I can't figure it out, so this is as best as I've been able to get it. So, please, hold on. Oh, and hope you have happy holidays. So, in my Dragonlocke, I'll use Sprigatito because that's the starter I'm going to choose, all the way up until I get to the first Pokemon Center, which then I can trade over my team. So what I've done so far is I've gotten eggs of all my team already because Pokemon are typically you can't get them at such a low level. So I bred them with a Ditto to get me the Pokemon at level 1. And for those wondering, this is my third time playing. So on this is only my second time playing Pokemon Violet, which on my other one I still have to beat the champion, uh, beat Cassiopeia, and do the Area Zero stuff. But besides that, that one's all done. So the rules I'm going to be doing is I'm giving each of my dragon types 3 lives, and then I can only use 3 healing items per battle. And a personal rule I set for myself is that before the series ends, I have to catch every single dragon type Pokemon I can. So that would include Koraidon and all the Scarlet exclusives. So on my team, I have some Scarlet and Violet exclusive Pokemon, so that's why I'm also having to trade over a lot of my Pokemon. Oh, and I also know that I've been out, like haven't been posting a lot. It's been because of last week I had finals, and the week before I was just getting slammed with school. And back towards like Thanksgiving, I was sick, so it's just been a hard time. So how are you doing? Oh, and I also do have the ROM files for this, but as far as I could tell, I can't trade Pokemon over, which would be a big problem for my team, because my team kind of depends on some version exclusives that I won't be able to get if I had chosen to use the ROM file instead. Like, I can't figure out how to do the Union Circle, and I can't figure out how to trade, because it can't connect to the internet. And my PC is I I built it myself. It's using the Asus ROG B550F gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. It's using the RTX 3060, 1 terabyte M.2, and a Ryzen 7 5800 or 5400, I forget, with 32 gigs of RAM. And my CPU is water cooled, using an all-in-one. One thing I wish they would have done is, like, I know you can eventually run, but I wish you can run from like the beginning of the story, not having to walk all the way through the house, not having to walk halfway through to Director Cavell's or Nemona's house. So, because for the first half of the story, I am going to use a Sprigatito just until I can trade over my Pokemon. Because if I remember correctly throughout my playthrough, there's not an early type Dragon type that I can catch, so in Sprigatito, if I planned it out correctly, will be the hardest. Will leave Director Cavell. Oh, sorry, spoiler. Uh, to use the fire type starter. Sir, all my team will resist it. Well, besides one, but you'll find out which one that is soon enough. But then again, I resist all of them, and Ghost will give me the most trouble in that battle. And then water and fighting, well, that's also good against one of my team members. So I think it'll balance it out quite well. So I have a question for you. What would be your starter that you'd choose? Either Sprigatito, Quaxley, or Fuecoco. So yeah, once this gets up, I'll write out the rules I'm using for my for my Dragonlocke. So if I violate any of these rules, please tell me. When you see that girl, that's where you can first start running. That's what I've figured out from playing this game. And the Battle of Nemona is honestly kind of easy. But it's funny, out of all my playthroughs, the one starter I haven't chosen to play with is Fuecoco. I've chose Craxley on my first Scarlet run. Then I chose Sprigatito on my first Violet run, and now I'm choosing it again. Oh, I'm sorry if you guys don't hear any sound. I'm just slammed right now, so I can't check if there's sound. Yeah, pretty soon we'll hit the first Battle of Nemona. The one thing I wish Game Freak did is I wish that they didn't make it where I wish they didn't make the beginning part of the story so long. 'Cause normally it takes me around an hour just to get to like the first Pokemon Center just because of how much stuff happens. So another rule that I'm going to be using for myself is I'm going to have to name every single one so I get a deeper connection with them. But like Pokemon are that I have to catch for the story, I won't name just so I have that in mind. So like the Sprigatito, I won't name because that is part of the story and it won't actually be on my team. I like how she had Pokemon, but now she wants a new Pokemon rather than training up with her old Pokemon. And I have a question for you. What's the best rival you've experienced? For me, I think it would have been probably Hop. Just because in Ultra Moon, I forget if it's Ultra Moon or or Moon, but whenever he's champion, that was a hard fight for me. But I know how like Pokemon has gotten easier, and there's proof of that in Pokemon Ultra Sun. I used to never be able to beat the champion, but in these games, but in like the newer ones, they're getting easy. Sure, some of that might just be because I'm getting better at playing the games. I think most of that is just because of the games are getting easier. I like how in some games the starters don't learn their elemental move right away, but in some games they do, like this one. Like it makes no sense. Why could like uh Rowlet can't learn its elemental move right away, but in this generation they can. Come on, Ramona, I just want to get to the Pokemon Center. On off camera, before I move on with the story, once I get to the Pokemon Center, I'll probably catch around 6 Pokemon so I can trade for my team. But one thing I like is in this game that they didn't do before is that now it doesn't matter if you're a train if you're not the original trainer, as long as you caught it at a lower level and then you train it up, it'll listen to you. Because that was a big problem I had with a lot of my Pokemon back in some of the other games. But now, like, I can trade over a level 1 Pokemon I want on my team, and then raise it up to the level, and then I'd be perfectly fine. Hey, finally, we're getting a move on, but we still gotta save Koraidon. I mean, Miraidon. Like, I found it funny. These look like orange trees, but I think they should have been like grape vines instead, because that would make a little more sense with this being violet. Like, it would have been a cool little fun little detail. Well, that lunch isn't for me, it's gonna be for something else. So yeah, later on I'll try to say some of the dialogue that the character's saying for you. Oh, and another thing I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be challenging up the in the actual order that should be intended for Pokemon. Yeah, so I plan to end the series either A when I beat all the post game where as I consider that being beating the Academy Ace tournament, or B catching all the Dragon type Pokemon. But it's really gonna depend on what one happens first. Now, whenever I battle this Lechonk, what I do is I just feign it. And another nice bonus for feeding it, for defeating it, I'm not sure if you still get this when you catch it, but you get an extra Pokeballs. Because before C always gives you 5, but then you end up with like 19. So that's a nice little feature. I bet you will when you make it up to the lighthouse. I feel like something's gonna cause. Well, if you guys have a solution on how to increase, how to make the colorations better, please leave it in the comments below. And this is just my capture card. Ben, could that be Miraidon? I like how this one small section of this is broken off, but the rest of it is perfectly aligned. But yeah, my first Scarlet playthrough, I had no idea where to go because of this. Like, I didn't see the hole in the cliff the first time, so I didn't know. No, it's quite funny. The Scarlet legendary Koraidon, I like better in its attack form, but for riding, I like Miraidon better. Come on, let's save this Miraidon so I can get going. Oh, and if you've seen any items on the floor, I'll go back and go get them later. Just right now, I'm on the side crunch. So I'm not stopping to get every single poke. Not rushing to get every single item I see. I will later, but not quite yet. So if I remember off the top of my head, the first gym I'll reverse will be the bug gym. but that'll be in episode 2, not this episode. Because what I'm kind of planning on doing is basically one activity, or if it only takes me like a few minutes to do, then I'll do like 2 or 3. Like, assuming that they're on the same level range. Come on, Mona, just let me keep going. On when I faint against the Houndoom towards the end of this sequence, I'm not gonna count that as a death for anything because that is a story implied element. Because it was forced by the story that that had to happen. Oh, it's funny. So yesterday was when I was looking for Roaring Moon because I need that too, because that's a Scarlet exclusive that I had to trade over. I was looking for it and I couldn't find it in the area that it was meant to spawn. But it's funny, I was about to fly out and do the picnic for dragon encounters. I found it without even having to do that. Come on, cutscene, really? Cutscene after cutscene. This game is. What do you think the hardest main series game is for Pokemon? Like not a ROM, but like all the ones that Game Freak actually puts out. Cheater, bringing in more Pokemon. Come on, Rhydon, just jump me out of this. Just get me out of this cave so I can keep on exploring. That's all I want. I just want this sequence to end. Oh, and I also got to battle Arvin. Just remember that. Yeah, so later on, I'll just film parts that are important to the story. Wow, he used up all its energy trying to fight that Houndoom. See, now it's in its writing form. Arvin is pretty easy because he only has, I'm pretty sure it's the level 2 or level 5 Scrovenet. I like how she didn't think to do that before we left her house. Wouldn't that have made more sense? Oh, what style of TM would you like more? Like, did you like the ones that you can use infinitely, or do you like the ones that you only get to use them for a certain amount of, you only get to use them one time, and then they break? What style do you like better? Come on, Arvin, let's battle. Oh, and I guess the rumors about Arvin being a son of Professor Sada and Professor Turo was true. Like, some of these damages are hard to believe because it's 1.5. Like, Leafits does 1.5 times it. It does 1.5 damage. Normally, attacks do 1 damage. Like, it multiplies the actual attack power by 1. But because it's a stab move, it adds a 0.5 to it, meaning it's 1.5 times the base power. And that's as much battling as Spigotato will get. So by the time you see my team, they're probably gonna be in the level 10s or 15s. Just because once I get them, I want to train them up from level 1. I have an idea. Professor Turo gave it to him. Because he's his son. See that white Pokeball? That's the first one. But of course, first we have to go up to the lighthouse. Okay, there's Mesagosa. Now I just want to get to the Pokemon Center. I like how the classes wait for us, but like the classes don't start till we get there. But technically, I mean, we can make it where class never happens. Technically, thank you for welcoming me to Paldea, but for now I want to get to Pokemon Center. Oh, no, I like how in our little starting street down there, how there's only 2 houses, just ours and Nemona's. Like it's already without even a proper town. We're just a tiny little block. Oh, like I remember at one point where everybody, like I remember hearing some people saying that, oh, Pouty and Whooper's only going to be found in that area it was shown off in the trailer. No, it's found right by here. Like I don't find the point of league points or Poké Dollars. Like, what's the point of having 2 separate currencies if they do both the same thing except for one is used everywhere and the other is, oh, you're restricted to, you need it just to make TMs. Well, that's gonna be the end of this part so far. I'll join up with you soon. Okay, so I figured out the videoing for the color and I figured out the sound. So hopefully it will sound better and it should look better. So in the meantime, in my other account I had eggs. So for the past day I was raising all my egg Pokemon, which is gonna be my team, to be up to this level. So I'm gonna meet back up with you once I get to the top of the hill. So see you then. Welcome back. So I just got out of the Pokemon Center. I'm just gonna heal up just to make sure my Pokemon are nice and strong for the upcoming battle. So how's your day going? Day or night? So I'm gonna be leading off with I'm gonna lead off with my dragon and dark type. I'm just forgetting the name right now. Oh yeah, I forgot I had a Scotogon out front. Why are you doing 3 World Cups in a row? You're gonna go down this turn, so it's been pointless. I'll stay in. Oh, I forgot I was gonna Terra. I mean, Terrasilize. I'm still not very good. I still resist it. Oh, so to fix the video, I don't know what actually caused it, but all I did was just change the port on my motherboard I was using for my capture card. Because it's a USB one. Soon I'm thinking I'm getting a new one. Oh, and sorry for the long video. We'll end soon. I wonder what classes you have to take to get the Terrestrialization Orb. Because I remember saying that you had to sign up for special classes in one of my other playthroughs, but I beat all the I did all the classes and I never, but none of them mentioned anything about it. Oh, for those that don't know, I also had a partial playthrough of Pokemon Legends Arceus. Just ran out of time and inspiration for it. But who knows, maybe in the future I'll potentially join back up with that series. Look, we got a quota we're supposed to fill for new members, so just sign up already. I'd rather not. Huh? You wanted this too? If we're gonna sign up, we'll get you next. We nearly got this one in the bag. We're Team Star, kid. You burn so white it hurts to look at us. But you knew that, right? So you know exactly who you're messing with, and you still coming at us with an attitude. You're scared, kid. If you join Team Star, you'll be looking down from the top in no time. Hey, we can't just let something like this slide. The honor of our team's on the line, so we gotta no real choice but to battle, yeah? That's true. And keep your watch on that little four eyes over there. I'll make sure this crushed face nobody ends up seeing stars. On all the Pokemon names I have meanings in Spanish. So like most of these names are made up of 2 different words to describe them that I translated to Spanish. No way, he beat you. Does that mean I gotta battle this kid now since I'm higher up in Team Star's ranks? What do you not think you're doing? Oh, it's that student council dweeb. So he's gonna report us if we don't book it. I can't believe you, Go 009. You don't have to go find randoms in battle. You'll have all the battles you ever need with me. That's not really what happened though. Wait, they picked a fight with you? Wow. I read that way wrong, sorry. I get it now. You 2 have Team Star written all over you for sure. I bet you're trying to pressure people into signing up again, weren't you? Hi, we were not doing that. Well, that explains it. I said that the student council stopping this type of nonsense would normally be my job, but this is also the perfect chance for you to try out my amazing and ultra rare gift to you. Why do you look so orange there, Ramona? not bad. This is nothing. Every day I have to go up and down the same staircase. Like I go up it for one copy and climb down for it next. So it's nothing. Alright, I want to thank you for making this far into the video so far. And just a reminder to subscribe and like if you want me to continue on this series. I like battling with them. I didn't do it. I guess I just want to be a strong trainer, but I didn't do it. My mom filled it out for me, so I didn't have any choice. Hello, Gita. It totally wasn't Gita. The champion. Yeah, so the first gym I'll be doing is the bug. Yeah, I think all the gyms should be easy except for the ice one. Okay, let's see Arvin for the trial. No, for the title one. I can tell from the attire that you're like picnicking. I already said yes, so why do you have to answer me? Only one I think we might have trouble is the false dragon. The rest of them should be easy. I like how it gives you Stardust instead of money, because I would probably just sell it right away just for money. What did I do? Or is he just mad at me for taking a loud phone call? Not here. It's on the TV. He's on the telly. Professor Turo. Why not get back in your Pokeball? I like how they can call us, but we can't call them. Well, people, that's gonna be the end of this episode. So, meantime, stay good, stay safe, and like and subscribe for more content like this. Episode 2 should come out soon. Have a nice day.